I was completely shocked when I first looked at First and Khaotung's relationship horoscope. There are so many challenging aspects. They seem to have an amazing chemistry, but tension, sudden changes, and intense emotions are written in the stars for them. So what's going on here? And does that mean their bond is doomed, or could these challenges actually make their connection stronger? Let's find out together what astrology reveals about them. Hello stars, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Beatrice, I'm an astrologer and huge BL fan, and in this video I will talk about the relationship between FirstKhaotung and Khaotung Thanawat. As you will see in a moment, their relationship is full of challenges, which made me very curious to find out if it can last long or not. Right from the start, I want to say that I hope I'm pronouncing this name correctly. I've watched videos saying that it's pronounced Khaotung, but First and Jung pronounce it Khaotung. Since I suppose that they wouldn't call their friend by a wrong name, I'm going to pronounce it Khaotung. I apologize if it's not correct, but please blame it on First and Jung. And let me know in the comments if you struggle with pronouncing his name too. Now a quick info before getting to the horoscope. I already uploaded videos about Wang Yibo and Zhao Zhan, about Skyna Ni, William Est, Om Nanon, and about Bilkin and Pipi Crit. If you haven't watched them yet, check them out after finishing this video. I put all the links in the description. And my next videos will be about Persenta, Jungdang, and Earth Mix. Subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on if you don't want to miss them. Now let's get started with the horoscope for FirstKhaotung. As I always do in my videos, I take a look at their individual birth chart to find out how they act in relationships before moving over to their compatibility horoscope and to the relationship chart. Let's begin with Khaotung. He is someone who loves with grace, charm, and a deep understanding of emotions. With his sun in Libra, he is naturally drawn to harmony in relationships. Libra is the sign of beauty, balance, and connection, which means love is one of the most important things in his life. He doesn't just want romance, he wants an emotional and intellectual partnership where both people truly understand each other. His Venus, the planet of love, is also in Libra, conjunct his Sun, making him affectionate, romantic, and very aware of what makes a relationship work. He is naturally elegant in the way he expresses love, and he appreciates beauty in all forms, especially in his partner. His Mercury, the planet of communication and thoughts, is in Scorpio, which adds a deep, mysterious quality to the way he thinks and expresses himself. He doesn't waste words. When he speaks, there's meaning behind it. In love, he prefers deep conversations, emotions that go beyond the surface, and a sense of loyalty that is unshakable. However, Mercury in Scorpio can also make him a bit secretive. He might not always say what he feels right away, preferring to observe and understand before opening up. Mars, the planet of passion and action, is in Virgo, making him precise and intentional in love. He doesn't rush, he likes to take his time, analyze the situation, and make sure everything is just right. Mars is also conjunct his North Node, a point that represents destiny. This means that taking action, following his instincts, and embracing his desires are all key to his life path. In relationships, he might feel like love pushes him toward personal growth, sometimes in unexpected ways. The emotional side of his personality is fascinating. If he was born in the afternoon or evening, his moon, which represents emotions, would be in Leo. And I believe that he was born in the second half of the day because it would fit him perfectly, especially given his incredible acting skills. The moon in Leo brings a natural flair for drama, not in a negative way, but in the sense that he feels things deeply and expresses them in a powerful, captivating way. He loves to be adored, and he thrives when his emotions are recognized and appreciated. If this is the case, his birth chart would also have a grand cross, one of the most intense and complex aspects in astrology. A grand cross happens when 4 planets are in a challenging square formation, creating tension that pushes a person toward growth. For Khaotung, this would involve the Moon in Leo, Mercury in Scorpio and Juno at the end of Libra, Neptune in Capricorn and Saturn in Taurus. This combination suggests a deep emotional world, a sharp mind, and a strong artistic sensibility, but also inner struggles between his emotions, his responsibilities, his dreams, and his need for balance in relationships. Even if he was born in the morning and doesn't have the Grand Cross, he would still have a powerful T-square that would make him sometimes feel caught between structure and chaos, between logic and emotion. He could have moments of doubt in love, wondering whether to trust his instincts or to be more cautious. Juno, the asteroid of marriage and long-term commitment, is in Libra at a critical degree, meaning relationships are a big theme in his life. He craves an equal, fair partnership, but because Juno is also conjunct Mercury and Lilith, his relationships might be deeply connected to his artistic expression. His ability to act, communicate, and feel emotions so deeply likely comes from this combination. He's able to bring real emotions to the surface, whether in love or in his creative work. Neptune, the planet of dreams, is also at a critical degree in Capricorn, meaning his dreams and visions for the future are powerful. He might feel a pull toward something bigger than himself, especially in love. Sometimes Neptune can create illusions, making it easy to fall for an idea of love rather than reality. But with time, he learns to see clearly and build something lasting. Overall, Khaotung is a mix of charm, intelligence, and deep emotions. He loves with elegance, but also with intensity. His biggest challenge in love is balancing his deep need for connection with his equally strong desire for independence and artistic expression. When he finds the right person, someone who respects his emotions and shares his vision, his love is passionate, profound, and truly unforgettable. What about First? He is someone who loves with intensity and passion, but also with a strong sense of loyalty. His heart burns bright, and when he falls for someone, he does it completely. He has a cluster of personal planets in Leo. Mercury, Venus, and Mars are there. Love is dramatic, exciting, and full of energy for him. Leo is the sign of confidence and self-expression, and having these planets here means First loves in a bold way. He enjoys grand gestures, deep connections, and a love that makes him feel special. Venus, the planet of love in Leo, makes him crave a romance that is passionate and full of admiration. He needs to feel appreciated and adored. Mercury, the planet of communication, is right next to Venus, so he expresses love with warmth and charm. His words can be poetic, playful, and sometimes dramatic, but always from the heart. Mars, the planet of action and desire, is also in Leo, making him incredibly passionate. He knows what he wants in love and isn't afraid to go after it. His Mars forms a strong connection with Pluto, the planet of transformation, in Sagittarius. This means his love life is intense. When he loves with his whole soul. There's a magnetic, almost fated quality to his relationships, and he might find himself drawn to deep, life-changing connections. However, First Sun is in Virgo, which adds a different side to his personality. Virgo is practical and thoughtful, so while his emotions are fiery, he also values stability and reliability in love. He's not just about passion, he wants a real, grounded relationship where both partners support each other. But love isn't always easy for him. He has a T-square in his chart, which is a challenging aspect that creates tension. Saturn, the planet of discipline, is in Taurus, making him cautious and serious about relationships. Whether it's about friendships or romantic relationships, he doesn't rush into commitments. He wants something solid. But this Saturn is in conflict with Lilith in Libra, which represents rebellion and raw, untamed emotions. Lilith in the last degree of Libra means he might struggle with trust or fear losing his independence in relationships. At the same time, both Saturn and Lilith are in a difficult aspect with Neptune in Capricorn, the planet of dreams and illusions. This means he might sometimes feel confused about what he truly wants in love, or he could attract relationships that seem perfect at first but later reveal hidden challenges. Juno, the asteroid of marriage and commitment, is in Libra, the sign of partnerships. This means that deep down he wants harmony in relationships. Even with his fiery passion and intense emotions, he is looking for a balanced relationship where both partners respect each other. However, because Lilith is also in Libra at a very powerful degree, he might sometimes attract complicated relationships, ones that challenge him to face his deepest fears and desires. Overall, First is a passionate, intense lover who needs romance, excitement, and admiration. He is drawn to deep, life-changing love stories, but he also values loyalty and stability. His biggest challenge is balancing his need for passion with his fear of losing control in relationships. But when he finds the right person, someone who appreciates his fire and respects his independence, his love will be powerful and transformative. Just looking at their birth charts, I can say that Khaotung and First complement each other in a way that blends grace with passion. Khaotung approaches love with elegance and emotional depth, preferring balance and quiet intensity, while First loves boldly, craving admiration and excitement. Khaotung's thoughtful nature stabilizes First's fiery energy, while First brings warmth and spontaneity to Khaotung's more measured approach. Their differences create both attraction and challenge. Khaotung can be secretive, where First is expressive, and First's intensity might sometimes clash with Khaotung's need for harmony. Yet these contrasts push them to grow, making their connection both dynamic and deeply meaningful. But let's dive even deeper and take a look at their synastry. This is a comparison of the two birth charts, telling us even more details about their compatibility. In this image, Khaotung is the inner circle and First is the outer one. First and Khaotung have a connection that feels powerful, intense, and deeply transformative. This is not just an ordinary relationship. It has a karmic quality, something that feels destined, like they were meant to meet and change each other's lives. Their north nodes, which represent life paths and soul lessons, are conjunct. This means their journeys are intertwined, and through each other they will experience growth, challenges, and deep realizations about themselves. Khaotung's Mars, the planet of passion and drive, is also conjunct First's north node. This adds an electrifying energy to their relationship. Khaotung naturally pushes First forward, encouraging him to take action and embrace his desires. At the same time, First's Venus, the planet of love and attraction, is also conjunct Khaotung's north node. This means their connection has a strong emotional pull. First brings beauty, affection, and warmth into Khaotung life in a way that feels fated, almost like love was written in the stars for them, whether they are just friends or more than that. There's also a strong sense of commitment between them. First, Juno, the asteroid of marriage and long-term partnerships, is conjunct both Khaotung's Sun and Venus. This suggests that First sees Khaotung as someone he could be truly devoted to. Juno represents the kind of partner or friend we want for a long-term bond, and in Khaotung, First sees the qualities he admires and desires in a lifelong connection. Khaotung, in return, feels this energy and can sense that First is someone who could be a significant part of his journey. However, this relationship is not without its challenges. First's Sun, which represents his core identity, is square to Khaotung's Pluto, the planet of transformation and power. This is an aspect that creates intense attraction, but also deep struggles. Khaotung presence might feel overwhelming for First at times, like he's being forced to confront parts of himself he wasn't ready to face. Pluto has a way of bringing hidden emotions to the surface, and First may feel like he's constantly being pushed to grow and evolve around Khaotung. This aspect can bring passion, but also moments of power struggles or emotional intensity that might be difficult to navigate. Their communication is a mix of harmony and tension. Khaotung Sun is sextile First's Mercury, which helps them understand each other's way of thinking. Conversations between them can be engaging, supportive, and full of interesting ideas. However, there are also obstacles. First, Mercury, the planet of communication, is square to Khaotung's Chiron, the asteroid of wounds and healing. This means that sometimes what First says, intentionally or not, can trigger deep emotional wounds in Khaotung. Khaotung's Mercury is also conjunct first Lilith, a point in astrology that represents deep, untamed emotions. This makes their conversations intense and magnetic, but also unpredictable. There's a raw honesty between them that can be both exciting and a little dangerous, like playing with fire. Another challenge is that Khaotung's Mercury is opposite first Saturn. Saturn, the planet of restrictions, can sometimes make First feel like he has to be careful with his words around Khaotung, or that Khaotung doesn't always understand his point of view. On top of that, Khaotung's Mercury squares first Neptune, the planet of dreams and illusions. This means there can be moments of miscommunication where things aren't quite clear and misunderstandings happen without them realizing it. Their physical attraction is powerful. First, Mars, the planet of desire, is trine Khaotung's Pluto, which means their chemistry is deep and magnetic, something that we also see on the screen. This aspect creates a strong, almost uncontrollable pull toward each other, making their connection feel fated. However, first Sun is also square Khaotung's Lilith, which brings a wild, unpredictable energy to their relationship. There might be moments where their desires clash, creating tension that can either excite or frustrate them. First, Mars is also opposite Khaotung's Uranus, the planet of surprises and sudden changes. This means their relationship has an unpredictable electric energy where things can shift suddenly, making it hard to always know what's coming next. However, there are some aspects that bring stability, like first Venus trine Khaotung's Saturn. Saturn represents structure and long-term commitments, and this aspect gives their relationship a foundation of loyalty and support. First brings love and romance, while Khaotung provides stability and reassurance. Khaotung's Mars also trines first Saturn, adding a sense of dependability to their dynamic. This means that no matter how intense things get, they can rely on each other when it really matters. There is also a theme of life lessons in their relationship. First Saturn squares Khaotung's Neptune, and Khaotung's Saturn squares first Neptune. Saturn squares often bring challenges and responsibilities that test a relationship. They may sometimes feel like they have to work hard to fully understand each other, and there could be moments where reality clashes with dreams. However, if they can navigate these lessons, their bond will only grow stronger. Overall, Khaotung and First share a connection that is passionate, transformative, and deeply karmic. They were meant to meet, and their relationship is a mix of love, desire, growth, and challenges. There will be moments of intensity, misunderstandings, and power struggles, but also moments of deep understanding, admiration, and devotion. Their love is not simple, it's the kind that changes them both forever. If they can embrace both the light and shadow sides of their bond, their relationship has the potential to be one of the most meaningful connections of their lives. Last but not least, we have the composite chart, a horoscope of the relationship itself. According to this, Khaotung and First relationship has a strong foundation, one that is grounded in reality, stability, and shared goals. Most planets in their composite chart are in Earth signs, which means their connection is practical, reliable, and deeply rooted in mutual support. They build something solid together, whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, a career, or a shared purpose. However, there is a lack of water, meaning emotional expression might not always come naturally. They feel deeply, but they may struggle to fully put their emotions into words or to show vulnerability. Their sun, which represents the core of their partnership, is in Libra, the sign of balance, beauty, arts, and harmony. Libra is about partnerships, making them feel that their connection is meant to be. With the Sun conjunct Mercury, the planet of communication, their relationship thrives on intellectual exchange. They talk, they share ideas, and they understand each other's thoughts naturally. Words are a key part of their bond, whether in deep conversations or in the way they express themselves through their work. The Sun is also trine Neptune in Capricorn. Neptune is the planet of dreams, intuition, and creativity, and this aspect adds a dreamy, almost magical quality to their relationship. They inspire each other's artistic side, and their connection has a slightly idealistic tone, as if they see the best in each other and believe in a shared vision. This could make their relationship feel almost cinematic, like a story that was meant to be told. Neptune is also the planet of illusion. Its connection with the Sun in Libra, representing arts, is an aspect that helps them a lot in their career as actors when working together. Mercury and Venus are both in Virgo, a sign known for its careful attention to detail and perfectionism. Venus, the planet of love in Virgo, suggests that their way of expressing affection is through acts of service, small gestures, and a quiet kind of devotion rather than grand displays of romance. However, Venus is in opposition to Jupiter in Pisces, which can create a push and pull dynamic between practicality and idealism. One of them may dream big while the other prefers to stay grounded, leading to moments where they need to find middle ground. One of the strongest indicators of their deep bond is the asteroid Sappho, which represents love, especially in homosexual relationships, as well as artistic expression through poetry, music, and acting. Sappho is conjunct their North Node, the point of destiny in a chart. This suggests that their relationship has a fated quality. They may have been brought together not just for love, but for something bigger, whether that means acting together in BL dramas, inspiring others through their work, or advocating for LGBTQ rights. Their connection is part of something meaningful that extends beyond just the two of them. However, their composite chart also shows a lot of challenges. They have a T-square, a tense formation that involves Saturn in Taurus, opposing Lilith in Scorpio, with both squaring Neptune in Capricorn. Saturn, the planet of responsibility and discipline, is in Taurus, which means their relationship has a strong need for stability. But with Black Moon Lilith, the point of raw, untamed emotion and of independence in Scorpio, there's also a wild and unpredictable energy between them. These two forces are in opposition, creating moments where one of them may crave security, while the other longs for intensity, deep transformation, or maybe independence. Neptune in Capricorn squares both, adding confusion at times, making it hard to fully define their relationship or understand what's real and what's imagined. They also have a yod in their composite chart known as the Finger of Fate, which suggests their relationship has a unique mission. This yod is formed by Mars in Leo, the planet of passion and action, sextile Juno in Libra, the asteroid of commitment, with both forming quincunxes to Jupiter in Pisces. This means their relationship carries an energy of destiny, but it may also require constant adjustments. They are pushed towards something bigger, possibly related to their work, love, or a shared cause, but they might feel like they are always fine-tuning their dynamic to make it work. Overall, Khaotung and First relationship is built on balance, intellect, and a strong sense of purpose. They support each other, communicate well, and share a deep artistic and emotional connection. Their love is not just personal, it has a larger meaning, something that may influence others and inspire people beyond their own relationship. They have many challenges to navigate, especially around emotional openness and differing expectations. Yet if they can overcome them, their bond is one that is built to last and evolve. Destiny brought them together, and whatever path they choose, they are meant to create something beautiful side by side. This is what I can tell you by looking at First and Khaotung's horoscopes. Do you agree with me? I would love to know your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss my next videos about Perth Senta, Jungdank, and Earth Mix. Until the next time, shine bright like the stars.